Hey, here is the last of the Pendulum series, and this is how we set up shop for a session. This is going to be a kind of long one, so 10 minutes. Go grab a beverage, put this on pause, grab a beverage, and perhaps your pendulum. So, first and foremost, we're going to go ahead and get into setting up an intention prayer, right? You're going to have that set up before you even start. So whether it is talking about who you want to incorporate, like who do you want to connect to, how is it that you want to connect to, whether it's your subconscious, your higher self, your spirit guides, ascended masters, God, universe, whatever, via the pendulum, right? So you can call in the energies and invoke that and invoke the guides or the helpers in spirit that you need, and then saying that you want to receive accuracy through the pendulum. Now the way I say it is I say, in divine love, light, and truth, I ascend, grow, and expand. It comes to you right when you're doing it. It's in memory, but when it comes to repeating it to somebody else, it just goes away. It's poof. Anyway, the way I would say it is, in divine love, light, and truth, I ascend, grow, and expand. I ask my masters, teachers, and guides to be with me, and for truth and accuracy to be obtained through the pendulum at this time. So that is an example of what this intention prayer would look like, right? Or sound like. You can tweak that. You can use it if you want to. You can actually reformat that. So that's kind of the structure you want when you're invoking this and setting that intention prayer, so that you're setting up sacred space, setting up the space for you to do your session for yourself. The next thing you want to do is set up center, ground, and clear your energy in the way that you normally do, right? Definitely while you're doing this, incorporating breath work. So you want to do like a 4-4-8 cadence, or 3-3-3. But 4-4-4 is 1-2. Actually, breathe light into the body and connect you to spirit. And there's many ways to do things, but my preference is 4-4-8. It's just one of those things where it connects you automatically to spirit. And you can definitely do another way. Just do it how you're comfortable with. My suggestion is 4-4-8. So into the count of 4, hold to the count of 4, and out to the count of 8. And do this in 3 to 4 cycles. In this case, I would say 4 cycles. This initiates a deeper connection to you, a deeper connection to spirit, invoking the I Am presence. Next, you are going to use that prayer of intention and say it in your mind or say it out loud. So that way, with your pendulum at hand, so that you're about setting the tone for what you're about to do. Next, you want to do a security check, making sure that you are where you need to be, you've dialed in, you tuned in, you got that radio dial specifically to the frequency that you want to be in. And this is something that I created because, left-brained thinking, obviously, and just making sure there's no loopholes, and there's no way to debunk, the movement of the pendulum, so that we can't explain it away to something else. So we know for sure that we're authentically getting what we're getting. So the 3 questions. First question is, am I connected to blank via this pendulum at this time? Now again, blank you would fill in, whether it be your subconscious, higher self, guides, angels, masters, whatever, universe. So fill in that blank. Second question is, are there any other entities or energies that can or will interfere with this pendulum at this time? The third question is, do I have a secure line of communication to XYZ, fill in the blanks, via this pendulum at this time? So it should be yes, no, yes. If you have that sequence of answers, then you're good to go. If in the second question you get a no, you get a yes, you're gonna have to start over. Okay, there's something not quite right, whether it's in your environment, your state of mind, your emotional state, not a good time to do this. So the way you would ensure whether that's the case, you go back to the beginning, start over again, and if you still get a no, still get a yes for the second question, not a good time. Just try again at another time. The reason for the redundancy is to ensure you have you're locked in loaded, you're locked into that frequency, you have secure communication, and you're asking the questions in three different ways, basically. And it's no different than like encrypting your text or encrypting a phone call or any kind of line of communication. Next, obviously, you got your pendulum. So you would have something like this, right? Okay, so you have like something that would be like a little knob in the top. There's a chain, and then you have like a crystal, or it could be some kind of metal. It doesn't matter what it is, but you want to hold it where, you want to hold it where you're not interfering with the chain. So your arm, first and foremost, hold it with the hand that's most comfortable, most likely your dominant hand, and you're gonna have your arm slightly bent. If you're more comfortable putting it on a platform like a table or a desk, you can do that. Or hold it tight to you with your arm kind of extended out, but you have a slight bend to your elbow, so that you can allow the pendulum to move. Okay, and it's what's most important is for you to relax and to let the natural vibrations of the energies that are going through your body into the pendulum, so that it can, or in your field. So basically the energies that are, depending on who you're connecting with, will utilize the energies through you're basically the channel, or it's in the field as well, or both. So it's manipulation of energy in your bioenergy field, encompassing your body and your energy that you're emanating. So remember that the pendulum is an intuitive extension of yourself. If you're good to go, I would say to keep in mind the following. First and foremost, you may have to reformat your questions to get specific, because you're limited to yes, no, and maybe questions up until you get to a point that you've built momentum and are so practiced and you've been doing it a while, where you start receiving extra information via your clairs, your spiritual senses, right? You'll receive additional like visualizations or visuals, pictures, or feelings, or gut feelings, or you'll hear words, see words. So you'll get additional information as time goes on. So this will go beyond the pendulum in conjunction with that. So just know that. But until then, you will have to be very careful with how you formulate your questions. Perhaps do the way I did it, where you can ask it through different ways, but make sure you're smart about how you're asking it, and so you're not confusing. You have to be very specific. So just ensure that you're formatting the questions specifically for those answers. Also, have fun with it. Experiment with it in the beginning. Don't have any kind of expectations. Just kind of like, don't go heavy and hard with it yet. Like you can have sessions where you are trying to find a product, right? Something that you need to buy and you don't know what store it's going to be in. You might go to 3 different stores and find that that one of the stores had what you were looking for. So before you leave, you hold a session, you ask the questions. Okay, where will I find this product? Obviously format it in a way that a concise way, and record your questions, and then go to all 3 stores to see, where did you find it? Where was it that it wasn't at? So that way you can start building trust and, building trust with the accuracy of your session. Remember that it's not going to be 100% perfect in the beginning. It's going to be a touch and go. You might you're going to get wrong answers. You're going to get frustrated, but you remember that we're the ones getting in our own way. So we have to make sure that we're in the right frame of mind. What's the energies that you are, that you have around you, the environment that you have around, that you're in. There's many variables and factors that come into play, and us, not last but not least, us fully trusting the process, trusting the answers, because we are always riddled with doubt, and that does get in the way. So it's not going to be 100% perfect, but remember to use discernment. You have free will. You don't have to listen to your guides. Trust me, there's many times where I didn't listen to my guides and I just did what I did. Sometimes I regretted it, and sometimes it was just a slightly different, outcome.